Good evening everyone, welcome back to Tom Plays Factorio for absolute beginners. Let's see, we need to keep an eye on copper mine far southwest, but the others should be fine, so I'm going to go and investigate these bases because their attacks have been a bit on the disproportionate side. I'm basically not at all clear why we've been getting so many of them. And we've got no coal again. Looks like the coal trains in port. Have a station rather. Yeah, here it comes. Okay. Right. And work out what on earth's going on here. Hi. Alright, so that's one base done. There's nothing particularly big though, is there? Really hard to understand why that has led to so many attacks. Nothing really here that would lead me to expect a lot of attacks. Okay, there's another base here. But I'm getting quite away from the wall now. So granted, like, that's probably a big base, but it's miles away. Okay, well, we'll see if that helps anyway. And the whole idea is really just to reduce the number of attacks on that wall. Interesting, apparently I didn't power this. I noticed last time when I put some solar panels down, there were a couple that I neglected to power, which I'm not going to worry about too much. I can probably go now. But yeah, doesn't hurt to look again, I suppose. At every place when the opportunity arises. Let's get a bit more ammo. A little bit of fixing. Okay, so that's all fine. Let's ride this back. Is the copper train at Copper Mine far southwest yet? No, it is not. Although I think it may be heading there. Nope, I guess that's the iron train. Okay. So where is the copper train? Oh, there you are. Right, so you are heading there. Fair enough, we'll just keep an eye on it then. In the meantime, I should just restock. Mostly on defender capsules and cluster grenades. And I'm also getting hopelessly lost in my own base. Brilliant. Well, I also will need to check on bottlenecks. But we're okay for copper. In fact, the biggest bottleneck right now seems to be plastics. But even then, yeah, that's not much of a bottleneck. I think we're generally doing okay. Right, good. Yeah, steady stream of stuff coming, that is good. Hopefully we will actually get there. Right. Copper Mine southwest, where are we up to? Yep, that has definitely slowed down. But I might consider just riding down there and seeing whether anything has run out. Before I check on anything else, that's good anyway. We offloaded all of the stone. How are we doing iron wise? Yep, that's stalled as well. Okay. Need to keep everything moving if we possibly can. if we're struggling too much for copper. So we can probably afford to take the train out and just check on our levels. Feel a little bit stalled until we get the artillery now, so I can try to remove bases, but a lot of it is really I want to remove any bottlenecks to the artillery research. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, actually this place looks absolutely fine. Okay, fair enough. Now we'll ride you back. Okay, there's an attack on Copper Mine South, which might be the next destination of this train. So maybe we should go and take that base out, although it looks like we've lost a mine there. Still, we might have lost a mine in Copper Mine South as well, so let's go check it out. Yeah, that is the next one. So we're fine. Just keeping the copper and iron flowing. Oh no, this place is fine because we were only just there. So, no problem there. Let's just check the power. That looks better. Filling up to a fairly high level. Although we've still been reaching rock bottom, so it looks like we've still been running out of electricity, which is annoying. Well, guess we'll find out. Right. Okay, no issues with the actual copper production here. So it looks like literally my only concern is these attacks. I don't really like doing this at night, seeing as my suit is solar powered. Day's raking there. So hopefully need more defenders. Few more distractors would also be good. Good grief, you guys still going? I don't think we've got any more spitters left at least. Okay. See if that helps at all. And how far is it to the next copper mine? I wonder. Let's check. It's that one I wanted to check, wasn't it? Okay, fair way then. Got room for some more accumulators here. May as well put down the ones I have, I suppose. Check and use the cluster grenades to those. I really want to take all the trees out if I can avoid it. But they're far enough away from the trees that it's not really a problem. Hopefully all this will just reduce the attacks a little. Overall. Right. Now we're going to deal with this. That's where you need to go. And I guess I'm going to have to start higher up this time. I might actually start here and make my way towards the outskirts this time. Right, okay, not too bad. Where are the trains? Copper train is amazingly not full. Already getting another attack on that base. Good grief, right. So incredibly, it actually looks like we don't have enough copper mines. Right, so I do actually want you to come back here, so I don't want to fill you up. But yeah, I think I'm just going to have to let you stay there until you're loaded, because the other mines aren't going to be loaded either. Never mind, let's see what I can do artificially and try to push the artillery research over the threshold. Although I feel like we're not really close enough to do that, but maybe it can keep them going. Well, we have a little bit of a copper shortage. Okay, well, it's certainly filled all the way up. We did just add a few accumulators. What is the hold up now? Is it literally just speed? Oh, fascinating. It's actually just speed. I'm not used to that. We just can't make cyan vials fast enough. I suppose I could knock out production and replace with speed modules, but no, I don't really feel like we've got such an enormous backlog, certainly of the advanced circuits, that we really need to do that. No, overall I think that's fine. Right, in that case I'm going to go check on the iron mines. Even though it does seem like we're pretty well stocked on those as well. So maybe I am overdoing it, but let's stop with ammo and we'll check for any attacks on the iron mines, restock them with ammo and see where we're at once that's done with. So it really feels like making another assembler for cyan vials. I don't know, it seems like a bit of a waste. So fairly sure at some point we're going to end up with an excess of them and not enough of the yellow ones. I guess we'll see. See if it keeps up. Tell you what, let's just head back to Iron Mine Southeast and see how that's looking. So we don't look particularly short for iron. See if there have been any attacks, see if any of the mines have run out, see how they're doing for ammunition. Let's just keep things going. Okay, so no signs of any issues, no signs of any ammunition shortages, no signs of any attacks. This is looking pretty good, I have to say. Okay, so where would we normally go next? Iron Mine West. Let's go to Iron Mine West. We'll let it fill up there and then I'll try and sort Iron Mine West out if there are any issues while it goes to drop stuff off. maybe I'll seriously consider actually making another cyan vial assembler. It's not something I've ever felt the need to do before, really, but first time for everything, I suppose. Okay, so there isn't a lot of iron here, so I'm sure we'll have to come back and move it again. And a few attacks on the left. Well, to be fair, I haven't been here for a while, so it's probably not really something we need to deal with. You're probably fine. Let's make a couple more of those. Right, so I do want to make sure that the iron train... In fact, he may as well come back here now, really. Am I getting to take me to the next mine before it drops off some stuff? So then I can be checking that mine out while it's dropping off, and then it can come and collect me again. So what's the next mine? Far southwest. Here's the next one. Go do the drop off. Couple go here. Had more attacks, but then again, like with the other one, I don't think I've been to this mine for a while. Could give it some more ammunition though. Other than that, not too worried. Where on earth is the ammunition box? Oh, here we are. Hang on. I'm completely losing it. It looks like it's already on its way. Somewhere. Oh, it got stuck. Ah. I had forgotten that was a possibility. Okay, fair enough. Well, just come back and get me then. It's mildly annoying, but can't be helped, I suppose. Unless I do a route around, which is a possibility. I don't think it comes up that often. So I probably want you to come back here. So the only one I think we haven't checked is Southwest, which we have been to relatively recently. So probably don't need to check that one. So I'll set it to go back to far southwest after the drop-off. After the drop-off was what I was thinking. So yeah, let's take me back to the base, please. Need some more high explosive rockets. Is there anything else that we need more of? I just don't think it's jumping out at me. If there is, don't have many gear wheels, I suppose. But apart from that, okay, so the only real problem with this is that well, there are a few problems. One of them is that unless I make 2 more of these, we're going to end up kind of lopsided with our feeds. Actually, let's move you down a bit and give us a little bit more room to maneuver. Still, I mean, it arguably isn't any worse. So the engine bit is easy enough. So, chemical science pack, engines, sulfur. Okay, maybe it isn't quite as bad as I think. I could stick this in here. Put that there. And then that just leaves us with the processor units. How on earth am I going to get those to you? Okay. Worst comes to worst, I can just go across here. I think I might do that. So we put that in there. Bring you all the way down. Horribly messy, of course. Now let's power it up and see what it does. Yep, it's working, so that should give us faster cyan vial production. It doesn't mean more of them are going to go here, but that's probably a better place anyway. If anything, the advanced circuits are going to be the bottleneck. So let me just dump a load in there, and then hopefully that will get our artillery working a lot faster. Okay, brilliant. I was kind of wondering about the oil cracking, because I set one of the oils. You know, we have a lack of petroleum, which we had to sort out last episode. This needs to be faster as well. Let's at least stick some fast inserters on it. That's better. So I have this that's making light oil into solid fuel, but what I'm actually thinking is, especially because this is now completely finished and we're full of solid fuel, how about if I change this recipe so it's instead cracking light oil to petroleum? Right, so it needs water. Oh, good grief. Oh, that's alright, it's just up there. No panic. So we've got the light oil going in there, which is fine. We need water in here, but then that will give us more petroleum, which is the main thing we seem to lack. So all I need to do is get water in here. Let's put another steel box down so I can get rid of the solid fuel that I picked up. I suppose I could even clear the assembly line by putting that there. So at least we've got lots of solid fuel now for whenever we need it. But yeah, water is coming in here. So we do have some. So let me just interrupt you. I'll take you up slightly. And put you back in. Actually, maybe we should go up a little further just to get around all of these. I think it will allow me to do that, but I don't like it. Let me just move down a little further. Another pipe to ground here. Bit of an obstruction there, but it's fine. Okay, so yeah, so we've got a few of these recipes. I haven't actually looked at them. So we had the basic oil processing, and we had the advanced oil processing that produces the three types of, well, heavy oil, light oil, and petroleum gas. But yeah, if you look at it, it actually produces a lot more light oil than heavy oil, which I hadn't noticed. But we've also got these cracking recipes. So we've only got two at the moment. Heavy oil cracking to light oil, but also light oil cracking to petroleum gas. And we have an excess of light oil and a massive lack of petroleum gas. So rather than doing solid fuel, yeah, we are now cracking it to petroleum gas. So that gives us yet another source of petroleum gas, which will hopefully speed up our sulfuric acid production even further, because that was the main thing we were struggling for. Might speed up plastics production as well, but yeah, see, this is a lot better. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, so we found something useful to do at least. So it's worth keeping those cracking recipes in mind, because certainly at this stage of the game, petroleum gas is vastly more useful. So arguably what I ought to be doing is, instead of having these on the basic petroleum gas production, I ought to be using them to produce yeah, actually, it looks like you produce more petroleum gas with this anyway. So really what I ought to be doing is doing the advanced oil processing for all three, because water doesn't really cost us anything, and then just cracking everything to petroleum gas. Which I might consider, if we need to. But at the moment, we've got everything set up. It'd probably be easier to do with this one than with that one. So I'm a little reluctant. But yeah, you see our plastics are now completely full. Okay, we've got another successful attack. Coal mine north. Right. Let's bring the coal train down. And it looks like we have some investigating and fighting to do. We still need to look at the far northeast corner of the base as well, because we at least needed to replace a train, not a train, replace a turret there. But in the case of the coal mines, yeah, I might want to actually take down whichever base has attacked us. Okay. I suppose... Oh, actually, there is technically room for one here, temporarily. It's not great, but it'll use up that bit of coal, and it might give this one time to finish. So we can start moving back in a more controlled way. Okay. Place that gun turret. Fix the walls. Looks like we need more ammunition here as well. Wherever we keep our ammunition. There you go. That should keep you going for a bit. I was genuinely stuck for things to do earlier on. And now, suddenly, there's plenty. There's always things you can do if you look. Right. I'm guessing it's this base here that's attacking us. So, hi. Actually, I don't think we need the rockets now. Cluster grenades should be enough. In fact, even the drones are probably enough now. There we go. Right. Won't be doing that again now, will you? Okay, coal train's still there, so I might actually ride it back. Principally because I want it to unload its coal. And we'll go check out that northeast corner, and then I might call it a day. But yeah, if we end up still stuck waiting for the artillery, I might seriously consider checking the oil refining, because the recipe really does look like you get more petroleum gas from the advanced, even though you get extra stuff as well. So we're technically being quite wasteful using the more basic petroleum production. Always worth checking the recipes, I guess. Alright, so I'm not as worried about this one in terms of stopping future attacks. This may even end up being the first place we put artillery in the future. It's a kind of test ground for it. But we don't get that many attacks there anyway, even though we do eventually manage to destroy us. Right, let me just check this bottleneck one more time. copper, of course. Right, well, I know that the mines have been struggling, so even though it will hold us up in the long run, I'm going to actually pick copper up manually. Because I want to give our mines a chance to recover. So in theory this will also stop them from picking copper up for a bit, so it should allow us to build up a little bit of a backlog on the conveyor belts. And I'll just take one of them. Right, okay. I'm out of iron. Coal again, of course. Still, it's gradually being rectified. So I could have always reopened a mine here. Not to worry, this does look okay. Carrying some sulfur that we don't really need. But other than that, I think we're mostly fine. Okay, these are still going. So I think it was worth doing them. Certainly moving rather faster. So yeah, so that was interesting and also boring because at the start I was a little bit stuck as to what to do, so I checked all the mines, made sure everything was good, and then started taking down a few bases. So we took down those that have been attacking us for a while. I think one down there, another one on the way to there, and the coal mine one. So we've hopefully beaten the enemy back a bit now. And we also made a new cyan vial producer, so we should be getting the cyan vials 50% as fast now, as long as we don't run out of materials. And we've also started cracking light oil into petroleum gas, which should speed up our sulfuric acid production. So hopefully we've actually sped up a few things, got rid of a few bottlenecks. Does feel like we don't have enough copper mines for the speed we're now processing copper. So whether we want to seriously look at opening another one, I'm not sure. Honestly, I've only really noticed because I'm so anxious to get the artillery up and running, because it's really the next thing I wanted to do. However, having noticed that the basic oil processing is actually a really bad deal compared to the advanced oil processing, I might seriously consider trying to do advanced oil processing as well. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to leave it there for now. It looks like we should be on the verge of getting artillery, so I might not actually get around to worrying about the oil. I might just end up going on to worrying about the artillery, but we'll see. Keep it in the back of my mind for something that potentially still needs doing. But other than that, I will leave it there for now, and hopefully next time we will actually get stuck into the artillery, finally. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you then.